Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm talking about homelessness in American society. A www.evan.wiki production. We want to end the failed socialist homeless policies and implement a new plan with reward-based homelessness policies. Some of the resources that homeless should get: climbing the homeless ladder, falling from the homeless ladder, the stages for disagreement, a court to disagree, ultimatum, homeless options, and why. Thinking ahead. So, resources homelessness should get. First, homelessness should get food benefits. The food benefits are generally a state program, and they could stay with the state. However, the federal government should be putting pressure on the states to make the food benefits all USA foods. So they're buying strawberries, not things that aren't made in the United States. So they're buying strawberries. So they're buying mac and cheese. So they're buying watermelon. So they're buying these goods that are made in the United States. And not all strawberries, not all watermelon, not all mac and cheese are made in the United States. However, those are the ones that the food benefits. If food benefits is something that is going to be a social program should be made in the United States, and it's not all that difficult to do to limit food benefits just to the United States food, because they already have programs like Wix that do things differently than just swiping a card at the register. Homelessness should also get no driver's license money. If they're not driving a car, if they don't have a driver's license, they should get paid monthly for that, just like you and I. Access to an advocate weekly, a place to go during severe weather or when too hot or too cold. However, this is key: in exchange for work or work searching. I've said it before. I want to force people to work to print more money. And that includes the homeless. The homeless should be working in exchange for the services that they get. The services should not just be handed out for free. However, they should have a place to go. If they want a place to go, if they want the food benefits, they should be working or work searching. And if they cannot find work, we can then provide the benefits as long as they're searching for work. And the no driver's license money, not having a car is working as well, I believe. So anyway, moving on. How to be homeless education. The homeless don't have education on how to be homeless. However, that education could be helpful. It could save lives. Doing more research in school and how to be homeless and what it is like to be homeless and what things are good and what things are not is important. Finally, if things aren't working out, there's displacement. The homeless could be displacement to a production farm, like a vertical farm, where they're in a city and they go work at the vertical farm for their services. And if they want to work extra for money, if there is available work, they can do that. How to be homeless. This is some of the how to be homeless education. Class taught by fellow homeless. Getting correct bike and bike wagon attachments or basket, as well as safety bike, lights, and backpack. Those are important for the homeless. And knowing which ones to get, which ones can ride on the road path that they're riding, and have a sidewalk or have a way to get around, and bring stuff around, move stuff around rather than just themselves. Showing up for work at homeless work sites. Keeping hygiene up, shower, shave, restroom. Instead of criminalization of homelessness, I think that there should be designated homeless areas and plans versus instant criminalization. So if they're going to work, I'll force them to work. I just won't criminalize being homeless. And if they don't work, they don't get services for being homeless. There could be designated rest hour areas for homeless and homeless who are exemplary. You get passes to use, um, you know, a couple times a week so they can just rest somewhere. And it's known that that's their resting place. Climbing the homelessness ladder. Well, the homelessness contribution to society, rather than criminalization, requirements for services and care, showing up to work, answering questions and application. So give them an application and have them answer questions for their area. Ask them, where were the blueberries made? Where were the top ramen made? Where were the sandwiches made? So that they're learning, when they're homeless, and they get rewarded for answering questions on something like a smartphone or at the library or wherever they might be answering the questions, and they're showing up to work. Furthermore, an important one for the homeless is not getting complaints about surroundings and cleanliness. Well, if you just let them be, they will be messy. However, if you have a homeless or someone going around doing transparent inspections and helping, so they go around at 1 o'clock on Fridays every week, and they make sure that the homeless site is picked up, and they see, oh, it's not picked up, so this is what you need to do to get it picked up, so they know that it's a secret shopper, and it's not just a secret shopper, it's a transparent shopper going around making sure everything's working. Then they can get it clean, and if it's clean, uh, that's good. They're going to get more services and care. Or if they let the person help them clean it up, they're going to get more services and care. If they don't want that to go on, then they got to be honest about that. They don't want it to go on. However, it could be a problem for the bypassers. So that's why we want to get transparent inspectors and help to maintain surroundings and cleanliness. Admitting drug problems or no drugs. So they can, if they're doing drugs, they need to admit that they're on a drugs. Or if they're not doing drugs, then that's good. Having an individual emergency plan. Those are part of the services. If it's too hot or too cold, where are you going to go? And if you don't work, you don't get those services. We might have to bring you in and put you down if you're really out of line. Put you down or put you in jail or do something like that. And if the penalties add up enough, then they're in trouble in jail longer. And you know about my 20-year jail policy. All right. Helping homelessness who contribute to society. A tent, production site, and resources. Ability to displace, start over, second, multiple chances. Something occurs, we can move you from LA to New York or LA to Houston or Boston. Choice, displacement, or death through starvation. If the homelessness are not contributing to society, we might bring them in and we might just starve them to death safely so that they're not a nuisance to society, they're not a nuisance to themselves. If they had no reason to go on, they had no reason to go on, so let's end it. Let's give them peace going. They can have a computer, they can have a last meal, they can go in starvation. However, once they're in that starvation place, unless something major changes, like a guilty to not guilty, follow through with the death every time. Transition to housing plan. This is for the good homeless. transition to workforce to get paid plan, ID and bank plan. If they're not driving a vehicle, they're getting paid $500 a month by the government or something like that. And that can add up. So ID and bank, um, and not all homeless have a bank account. So we need to get those things going for them. And if they're working, they're going to be earning Social Security, so they'll have something in their older age. It's not just about punishment. It's about thinking about the future, so they have a future. Um, and yeah, reward system generalities: 0.05% food benefit raise per day on time. So if they keep getting on time to work, give them a food benefit raise. And you can look in their food benefits and see, oh, they're getting a lot of food benefits. They're doing well. Let's transition them into housing. Let's trust these people because they're doing well. They're trustworthy. Answering questions about where food is produced from, where products are produced from, and questions about understanding recycling. That's important. Doing a job of going around and making sure homeless sites are organized and providing verification. That's important. We don't want nuisances in society. We want productive, happy, Team USA people. Anyway, how to earn referrals to advance in society. Have a high food benefit balance that demonstrates ability to save. Proposals about how to make money, homelessness, and make the community a better place. Making sure homeless are awake and ready for events like work, church, and education. Okay, falling from the homelessness ladder. The homelessness not contributing to society. Penalties different from actual penalties that would criminalize the homeless. Taking away rights to those not contributing or not trying to contribute. Allowing punishment by whip, confinement, or slave quarters. That, is a possibility. Too many people, too many problems approach. Always the option of death in a safe location. I don't really like the whip thing, but the confinement and the slave quarters um, are more societal, logical. Okay, let's be clear. There have been many instances of people starving to death, yet I have never heard someone starving to death crying out of line in pain. They are generally lying down and go in peace. Finding jobs that contribute to society, even if that contribution is low. Potential subsidies to low contributing jobs so the job does get done, even if it doesn't produce the minimum wage. Second and third chances with exponential penalties, and the study of death, not just through starvation, however, through drug overdose. If they are on drugs, they're killing themselves through drugs. Maybe they shouldn't be brought back with Narcan. Maybe they should just be allowed to die. The stages for disagreement. No services, no work. No work, no services. Sorry. No work, no services. No work, no food benefits, Social Security. No work, no counselor. No work, no how to be homeless. No work, no community integration or trust. Designated homeless areas and plans versus instant criminalization. Potential jobs: working for a vertical farm, working in a manufacturing facility, working to help homelessness climb ladder eventually into housing. Job simply pays for services. If extra work available for money, then choice to work extra. A court to disagree. Not meeting requirements for services? Well, the homeless may go to court or challenge their situation to receive services that would otherwise be offered by not meeting the minimum work requirements. So maybe they're disabled, maybe they have a reason, they can go to court and they can get their situation resolved that way and not just Evan dictating. Ultimatum options and why thinking ahead. Thinking ahead, if severe weather is approaching or homeless looks like they might not be able to continue as a going concern without services and the homeless chooses not to work for the services, then the homeless should be charged guilty of being a risk to society and unlikely to survive, and is to be brought in to court to be sentenced. If they miss the court dates, a few occurrences and or are charged guilty, which may occur without the homeless presence, the homeless may be brought in to die through starvation as a 20-year sentence would require. That's Evan on homelessness, a www.evan.wiki.production. We'll talk to you later and see you.